Hi everyone, John here from LookSmart Home Inspections right here in New Jersey, and today I want to talk to you guys about home inspector training in New Jersey. And when I'm talking about training, I'm talking about what it takes to get a license to do home inspections in New Jersey. And the issue that I see, and this is just my opinion, and I'm not trying to disparage anybody at all from entering the profession or anybody who's striving to get their license. But what in my opinion, it's just our training is just lacking here in New Jersey. So to get licensed as a home inspector here, you have to take 140 hours of classroom training. And that's classroom training that's most likely on a Zoom call. And that's not really in the classroom. Most of this is all done by Zoom. And that was reduced when I was coming up. We used to take 300 hours. Now it's down to 140 hours. There's 14 modules of training. I guess each one is 10 hours. So it's just not enough. And really what's lacking is the in the field type of training. So the classroom training, in my opinion, is short. And then the in the field training, which is only 12 in the field home inspections that a trainee has to do with a licensed home inspector. So these are observational home inspections. And that's just not enough. When I was coming up about 20 years ago, we had a minimum of 50 of those in the field training. So we drastically cut that in the field training significantly. And I actually ended up doing over 60 because I wanted to learn more and be more comfortable with what I was looking at in homes. So in my opinion, this 12 is not even close to being enough. And I wish that New Jersey would really take a look at this and try to elevate the training for the home inspectors who are trying to enter the profession, because they're doing the consumer an injustice. So a customer thinks that they're hiring a reputable, well-trained home inspector when they actually have very little training at all. So 12 is not enough. The classroom training is also lacking. And I'm actually an in-the-field trainer, so I do provide myself to have trainees do home inspections with me and observe me working as I do a home inspection. So I'm not at all disparaging them, and I want to see them progress and excel, or I wouldn't open myself up to having doing this type of training with them. But what I would like to see is them getting trained a little bit better, because that 12 is just not enough. And you're doing the buying community who is hiring these home inspectors are really an injustice, because home inspection is a career that's built on learning in the field and observation in the field and actually doing the job, not just from classroom learning. Anyway, that's just my opinion, and I hope that New Jersey would consider elevating the training standards for new home inspectors coming into the profession. What I have for you guys today is a new defects video. There's a few defects that I found recently in a couple of houses that I inspected over the last week. Maybe you can relate these defects to your own house, or maybe you can look for these when you're purchasing a home in New Jersey. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and let's see what we have. Here we have a driveway that's sloped to the garage door and sloped to right here in front of the front porch and steps right here. So what's going to happen is water is going to collect right in front of those steps. And as we see in a little while, the steps are rotating frontwards, right? So this whole area is settling because of all the water being collected right in front of the front porch. Here, we see some damage to the brick face over here. We're rotating this way, steps are rotating this way, and we're going to have just a low area right here where water is going to collect. So nothing good happens when water collects in front of a structure, especially a masonry structure, because that's going to settle, move, shift, and nothing good happens. So very important to control water on the outside of your house. Here we see those front steps rotating frontwards with a big crack right there where the steps meet the structure of the home. So everything is moving this way because the water is just collecting right in front of the steps. And also in the wintertime, obviously, that's going to create a icing condition where somebody can slip and fall. So water management, super important. I would say that it's safe to call this non-professional electrical wiring right here to this electrical receptacle in the basement of this house. Does that look safe to you? Not so much. I don't know if you could see it in the video, but the whole back of this property is sloping to the left side, or this corner right here. And also inside, we have our floor sloped. So something is absolutely going on structurally underneath this foundation wall, and that's likely to be a footing that's sinking. That's probably what's going on. But as home inspectors, we're not structural engineers, so I can't issue a engineering evaluation of this. All I can say is that the sloping here of this foundation wall and floors above are much more than typical, and that you should bring in a structural engineer in order to determine what exactly the fix is and if this is going to get worse over time. So always eye up from sort of a macro view when you're looking at a house, so you can kind of pick out things like this and then go inside, to confirm your findings. Just so we're clear, this is not how to secure a downspout, and that's not where you want the downspout discharging to. So it is likely that this has been here for a long time, and this could be obviously contributing to our settlement that's taking place at the back of this house. So if we have this water just collecting close to the foundation wall, over time that could settle and drop our footing, causing the slope of the structure at the back of this house. So something so simple can cause thousands of dollars of problems. Watch those downspouts and where they go. They shouldn't be discharging close to the exterior, and obviously they should be properly secured. Lots of problems here. So on this lower roof here, I went out, I looked, that's a bathroom here. So you look at on the bathroom window, and this is an asphalt shingle roof right there. So we don't want an asphalt shingle roof on a low sloped roof like this, because asphalt shingles are a shedding system. They're not designed at all to be impermeable to water. So if water collects on that roof, it can very well enter the home. So we have all new fresh paint in here, and I have no idea if it's leaking, but I do know that that's a significant defect, because this should be an appropriate low-sloped roofing material, such as a rubberized membrane, EPDM, something like that, that's much more suitable for the application of this low-sloped roof. But for sure, the asphalt shingles are going to leak. Here we have our chimney, and it's just open to the weather, so there's no rain hats on either one of these flues. So we have a fireplace flue and a heating equipment flue where the boiler vents into and the water heater vents into. But we don't have a rain hat. So what happens is that water, snow, ice is just going to enter those two open areas at the top of the chimney and cause damage to the terracotta liners that are in that chimney. So if we have a level 2 chimney inspection performed to this house, I almost guarantee that that's going to come up as needing a new liner in both of those flues for sure, because all of that open rain, snow, whatever's coming down, wildlife, whatever can get in that open area is going to cause damage to that interior of the chimney. And terracotta on an older home like this is generally getting long in the tooth anyway. So for sure, I'm gonna ask the buyer to do a level 2 chimney inspection just to confirm my hunch. But I would say that we're gonna need 2 liners in that chimney, no doubt. As home inspectors, we harp on exterior water controls almost every single inspection. But look what's happening here. 1, 2, 3 downspouts discharging right along this foundation wall of this house. Then we have this low area here, so even the neighbor's water is going to come and collect right along the foundation of this house that we're looking at today, plus all of these downspouts. I don't even have to go into this basement to determine that this basement is going to leak. Brand new house, and we have our registers, one here and one there located in the ceiling of our lower level here. This is a basement walkout. So what happens here is that this position is good for air conditioning because the conditioned air is going to fall. However, it is less so for heating because obviously heating is going to rise. So our heat is going to be convected up through the ceiling into the first floor. So this area down here is likely to be colder in temperature than obviously the areas upstairs. So this is something that I always tell our clients about, and you may have to supplement with additional heating down in this first floor because it is going to be colder in temperature because all our heat is going to go up to the ceiling, rise through the ceiling, and heat the upper floor rather than heat this space down here. So always look for this when you're buying a home, especially a new condo or townhouse. We see this all the time where the lower level has the registers located in the ceiling, and these areas tend to not heat correctly. Sometimes when you inspect a new house, you'll see all these little dots of painter's tape all over the place. So either this was put here by the builder or the buyer of the house just to indicate areas that, require touch up. There's actually a lot of these areas around this house. So if you ever go into a house and you see this kind of thing, that's really just an indication to the builder that he needs to touch up some areas and there's some cosmetic problems. But here we have a lot. And this house is supposed to close tomorrow, so I'm not so sure how this is going to happen. But that's what all these little paint marks here, these little painter's tape marks indicate cosmetic touch-up areas.